Even in first class cricket, he's made a name for himself for being precise with his foot movement. And there's the 4 deliveries. Solid, yet again, playing close to the body. Close to the body, and then look at where his back foot. It just stutters a little bit, and his front foot stuck in one position, and it was gone. 173 for 7.
Familiar faces, working hard, so much of work. Yeah, Abhish Maruf has been very busy, doing a lot of social media work with them. And I heard he even did an interview in Hindi, is that true?
And this test my Hindi skills came out decently okay, Roshan. All the lessons I've received from my crew. Right, we go. 4 deliveries. First 3 solid, close to the body. Even the next one. The wicket taking delivery. Just look at his feet movement. The back foot goes and the front foot gets stuck in the same position. Almost a similar way he was dismissed in the first test match. Different method of dismissal that was LBW. That's something that Surya Bandara might have to work. The reason I say just bubbles up in the gap luckily. Even in the practice match, in the warm-up game, was out twice, bowled. This occasion is the ball, and in the previous innings is an LBW. So stumps to stumps. Something young Surya Bandara got to work on.
Another look at that last delivery. Popping up. Very lucky that it fell in no man's land.
कह रहे हैं कि थाईलैंड अगर जाना हो तो हमें भी ले चलिएगा, सुने वहाँ मसाज बहुत अच्छा होता है. बिल्कुल देवानंद पांडे भाई, बात हमने भी बहुत सुनी है कि मसाज बहुत अच्छा होता है.
Very good effort by him.
लेकिन अक्सर लोग मसाज
Knocking over, they've been very, very persistent. But they've used bowlers very judiciously, Maha. They've got pace at one end. That's been relentless. Tickling the ribs a little bit with the short ball and then spin at the opposite end.
I like the way Shubman Gill has used his 2 quicks. Even in the Galle Test match, in both the innings, as soon as the ball gets to that reverse swing stage, straight away Siraj, he gets movement. His bowling is 10th over in the innings, 4th over in this spell. He has given it all. One reason why he's leader of the pack, simply because he's given the ball all the time. He gives his all. Full toss. And his fast bowling partner, Prasidh Krishna, will not get to it. Trying to go full. Kesaranwanta is off the mark with a beautiful off drive.
But surprisingly, Siraj is not anywhere close to his quickest. That was under 130, going full, possibly trying to go for that Yorker, missing out.
Comes to the fast bowlers out of the 47.4. Almost 23 overs have been bowled by the fast bowlers. Goes to show the bit of bounce that the SSC servers had has been utilized. Around the wicket. Expect the delivery is close to rib cage.
He looks good. It was quicker, but I like the way Kesaranwanta handled it, got into line. Didn't shy away, got into line.
even in goal in the second test match. Certainly played with a lot of pride, solid in defence, gave able support to Sonal Dinusha. Putting a prize on his wicket, that's for sure, Kesara.
Back over the wicket now. Just one ball round the wicket. Again, back over length. 177 for 7.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Chief, we're executing the side mission. Over.
McDonald's side mission accepted.
Oh, it's a good day. Singing the song, and it's a good day. Moving along, yes, it's a good day. How could
Today's
anything
a
go
good
wrong?
day.
Yes, it's a good day.
Got the goods.
The main mission can wait. Take a side mission to McDonald's.
Well, I can tell you that India will eventually have the option of forcing to follow on if they want to do it. But in the modern game, captains are generally a bit reluctant. They're forced to follow on. They talk about protecting their bowlers, just wanting to consider a lot of factors before that decision is made. So, what is your take? I mean, do you think it's a way forward considering the weather?
Prashant, modern day, quite reluctant, the skippers. Just a single. But looking at how the weather has panned out, though it has rained, probably about 20 minutes and in 1 hour we start playing, and looking at how the surface is behaving, still look or behaves well for batting. So I'll be tempted to get one more innings going, try and get you in case if Sri Lanka gets dismissed in the next 75 runs or so, have a 250 lead, get 200 runs, 150 runs, and then try and get the relatively inexperienced batting lineup of Sri Lanka quite cheaply. Looking at all the options, knowing Gautam Gambhir, how he operates, he'd like to take that step. Shubman Gill try and bat again and bat out Sri Lanka.
He'll turn and bounce. Pacey balls. Almost from a length. Right, not much to show in terms of batting left for Sri Lanka. A lot was expected of the Tikbal Sonal Dinusha partnership that was almost non-existent. And now it is up to the experience of Keshwan. One, not that the Sonal Dinusha is experienced. He's very early in his career, so Sri Lanka really up against it here.
Mohammad Siraj has bowled 4 overs in this spell. He's going to bowl his strength. Field set 5 fielders in the leg side and a third man also quite fine waiting for the uppercut. Expect plenty of those just to unsettle Sonal Dinusha. How good he has been. Certainly this is a career-defining series as far as I'm concerned for Sonal Dinusha. Plenty of runs up in the Gaul Test match, even in West Indies, batted well with against some quality fast bowlers with a new ball. One for the future, that's for sure.
Gets a lot of bounce that time.
Brilliant. The youngsters having a ball of a time. Remember, most of the schools are on holidays. Some have gone abroad, and the cricket season is on for the under 13, under 15 boys, and the ones who are here are certainly having a good time with the Indian stars who are here in Sri Lanka. Usually they've been followed all over the world. Brilliant.
Having a ball, as we call it. Good pace. Certainly at the batter. Short deliveries at you.
In this spell, he's giving it all. First ball of the over, headed to the gloves of Sonal Dinusha. These two, well left by Sonal Dinusha, but take a look at where the wicketkeeper collects on a slow surface. Takes a lot of effort. Running out of the crease, showing some aggression there as well. Sonal Dinusha, control aggression, if I may say it. Not to like about Siraj as a character. Public character is always there or thereabout, loves to have a chat just to distract the batter. Whenever the ball is in hand, he's your 100% man.
But looking at the Sri Lankan batting, that's a subject that will be discussed a lot. Which could be discussed. So, yes, Sri Lanka is missing Sri Lanka, that's a massive miss. So, Mendes, the hamstring issue. And then that Dinesh Chandima, out of this test match. So, three important components of the Sri Lankan batting missing out in the top order. So it's up to the likes of these youngsters like Dinusha and Surya Bandara, Visharas to carry on with the batting. So is it the way? Yes, and we've seen, other than Dinusha, the others, we've seen them in patches. Vishara's case. First test. National umpire. So my question is, you can answer it in the next row because this is the last one. But how much of a concern is it for you that those big boots are still not even a semblance of it being filled? 179 for 7.
Save up to 25% off selected mattresses in the Simba Bank Holiday Sale.
Legendary flavors from legendary games are now on McDonald's. Crispy golden black pepper and garlic McNuggets and dragon breast dip have landed. The main mission can wait. Take a side mission to McDonald's.
Yeah, before I get Maharuk to answer my question, there's a bit of information. Under Gautam Gambhir, 21 factors, he's the 21st. India has imposed the follow-on 14 once. After looking at the servers, I'd be very surprised if India does it for the follow-on. I'll probably that Sri Lanka out of the game. The pitches to be more damaging. They feel by Jadeja as well as Dhruv Jurel. The field, the scale roll, actually had it, it just popped out. Interesting replay coming up, a bit of inside edge of the bats. But certainly some disappointment around the batter for the ideal length for the left-arm spin against left-hander. Probably inside it, I think it missed the bat, and the LBW outside the line.
Just to answer your question, Roshan, regarding the selections for the next tour, for the test tour. The next one, which is going to happen in Pakistan away in the month of November, the first week of November. I think fitness permitting, if Pathum Nissanka, Kusal Mendis and Dinesh Chandimal all fit, they all come back to the side. Pathum Nissanka top of the order, Chandimal who's started at number 3 continuously, and Kusal Mendis at number. The giveaway depends on the second innings as well in this game, but you expect all the senior players to return to their positions. And Sri Lanka historically will always play with 7 batters, so that's something you can be sure of. Couple of deliveries before Jadeja. Through Jurel. He had plenty of work to do in this game.
Right, so session 1, I would say Sri Lanka will be happy.
भाई सभी लोग प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब कर दो चैनल 900 में सिर्फ 30 ही कम है, प्लीज़ कर दो दोस्तों.
Just 2 wickets, and that also just before lunch. It was coming to Mendes, but the next session been really a bad session. Now Saransh Jain making his debut, 7 overs, 21 runs. He's been brought on. He's got Naldimusha and Vantikeshwara. So, even as he warms up, Maha, you talking about Sri Lanka's tour of Pakistan. That's going to be a challenging one away from home. So what's the combination? I'm not asking names, but what kind of combination? Because at the moment, it's 4 frontline bowlers. Expecting Sonal Dinusha to be the all-rounder, but he has bowled. So how would that work out for Sri Lanka?
All depends on the surface, Sushant. Month of November, Pindi and Lahore, the 2 test matches. During winters, the ball may swing a bit if there's a bit of grass on the surface. It all depends on how the pitches will be prepared by the home side. If it's a pitch where a bit of grass, bit of movement, I'll be tempted to play the 3rd seamer. And that can be Milan Ratnaik, who can bat and who bowl exceptionally well in the West Indies, picked up 5 wickets in one of the test matches. And if the pitches are going to be the docile pitches that usually Pakistan plays, then you could still have 2 spinners, 2 fast bowlers, and you have Sonal Dinusha to use even more. So these are the ones that these are the options I can think of. But I like to see Sonal Dinusha being used much more in conditions like these. So 7 batters is non-negotiable for Sri Lanka, but the 4 bowling options can be worked around depending on the surface, depending on the opposition you play.
चैनल को प्लीज़ सब्सक्राइब कर दो दोस्तों.
Saransh Jain, here's an opportunity against his counterpart, the off spinner Kesar Nuwanta. I like to see Saransh Jain bowl.
A big turner on the ball, at least that was. My first impression when I watched him at the warm-up game, bowled a lot from around the wicket. That outside edge. He's got a got a deep mid wicket for that short ball. He doesn't have a backward squaring on the boundary, but it's a more leg side field to the right hander. This is a more. .188 for 7. So Sonal Dinusha again standing tall. 32 not out.
The last ball previous over, Quayle, mid-wicket, both trying to save the single, not to give the single away for Sonal Dinusha. Slot sweep, bread and butter, batting so well. But one thing to like about Sonal Dinusha when he's playing the slot sweep or the conventional sweep is his head position. Head position over the front foot, watching the ball till the last moment, and when he makes him. That's one thing to like about the technique of Sonal Dinusha. On the other hand, Srilanka giving able support, being very, very solid.
Yeah, it's important that he supports him. Looks to play sensible cricket like that, because you can see that Dinusha is looking comfortable at the other end, so all he needs is support. Played it well, really played it well.
Soft hands by Srilanka. Yes, he turned, bounced from the line of the stumps. Good, showed good technique here, Kesara. This was the reason behind the ball did not carry. Line of the stumps, that's a concerning factor. From the second innings for the Dallas. 190 for 7.
Well, the official closing time is 42 past 5 p.m. in the evening, but if needed, light and other elements permitting, they can be extended by 30 minutes to make sure that nothing's lost. Despite that little rain interruption just after lunch.
Right, looking at the field, 6 fielders in the off side, including the slip. So the line, I think Saransh Jain is just going to change up by bowling outside the off stump. Nothing straighter, anything straighter. So Sonal Dinusha is quite happy to sweep or slog sweep. So maybe a bit of a change in tactics. Just change things up. At the moment, Sonal Dinusha is playing very comfortably. Hardly a sweat been dropped. 32 or 56, looking solid. So something different in their patience also is going to test.
The other thing is that he's bowling slower. He's got a deep mid Vigaran. Well, I'm going to let you talk about this action. Well, it's the front arm that he really, well, expect a spinner to use it a little bit more. But he doesn't seem to be utilizing it too much.
What he does really well is get to his toes and release his arms as high as possible. On a surface which he produces a bit of bounce, he'll be unplayable. Simply because where he delivers from. Yes, the front arm can be utilized or used a bit better, something that he could work on. He's very experienced, he has played so many first-class games and 33 years of age. I think one thing I like about is the release position. Release from so high, gives a real rip on the surface which turns and bounce even more. Against Sri Lankan side which has 5 left-hands in this side in the second innings. He can be an handball. He certainly can be a handful. 190 for 7.
Sun is out. For a moment, we thought that we might have a very long interruption when we had some rain in the afternoon, but thankfully the sun's got a bit brighter. Clouds are, I don't know whether it's cleared, but brighter. But this man, he's been tough to handle. Simply because he gets to bowl it quickly. Bowls in the low 90s, gets quick turn, be very, very deadly of a good length.
A slight change in the field since the last over by Jadeja to Kesar Nuanta. Silimidov, Sarfaraz Khan has gone to the gully area and is very close to the bat. Remember, Lairudara up in goal against Manav Sutar was taken somewhere there. That's the one that the batsman can push a little bit hard and the ball might carry to the gully.
Well, this is the Sinhalese Sports Club grounds or the complex. It has most of the sports, squash, tennis, swimming, cricket of course. So complete. One of the best clubs in the country.
And finally used his feet, Kesar Nuanta. Safe negotiator. All deliveries in this over, 90 plus by Jadeja. Solid in defense yet again by Kesara. 190%. controlled, lofted shot. Just the talent of the man. Here, showing his striking ability. Saraj Jain has a point to prove here. This is the reason why he was included in this team in place of Kuldeep Yadav, to put some pressure on the Sri Lankan left-hander. So let's give him some time and see how Sonal Dinusha, who India really want desperately, how the off-spinner bowls to him and how the batter reacts to him.
And that went off the bat. That's 6. 197 for 7, Sri Lanka. .503 for 9, India. Ahmed score on the board. Devdutt Padikkal 117. Dhruv Jurel 115, not out. Squeezes that through. That should be 4. 200 then for Sri Lanka. This partnership battling their way through.
Angelo Matthews was talking about the stump line being a good one, purely because we're talking about these batters able to play the reverse sweep with such confidence. This is just a nudge. That's possible because the line is more middle stump and it's just going down the leg side. Very well played, very late, picking up 4 runs. Just try to get your thoughts, Russell, here, because I'm thinking ideally you want to be outside the off and get the ball to turn back into the stump. But is it because these batters play the reverse sweep so well, plus the orthodox sweep, that bowlers are forced to bowl this line? You did quite a bit of bowling yourself, or you can still actually get away with that line outside off, which seems principally a good line to bowl and gives you the best chance against the left hand on a pitch like this.
Yeah, because there are areas that you can work with. Outside the left-handers off stump, there is a rough. There was in the morning. It's pretty sure it's not going to disappear. Never does. It just gets worse as the game goes on. But the reverse sweep is something that puts the bowlers off. They struggle to set a field, get the pace and the trajectory right. If it was spitting out of that rough, probably they'd have more confidence in going to it. But also, to Sonal Dinusha, the second innings in Galle, it was out in a similar fashion. With that in mind, getting that extra bounce in line with the stumps, why the Indian spinners are persisting with that line, I'd say. He's defending them really well. Flat back from Nuantha. 202 for 7.
be the go-to bowler for India, the off-spinner. But they have not been able to use him longer, or perhaps he hasn't given the impression of feeling to the captain that he will get you the wicket of Sonal Dinusha. Anusuttar is back, so back to the ball scenario with an off-spinner on the side. Let's see whether there's going to be a change of ends, because Gill does go through his bowlers a bit quickly.
Now, Tanj Jain against the left-handed Sonal Dinusha is the battle you were talking of, Sanjay. But it was the right hand who actually played him well. He was 6. Probably now, when Gill thinking, okay, let's attack the right hand. Sonal Dinusha is not trying to shield him. He shouldn't, the way Nuanta can bat it. Defending every ball, so might as well attack him with his spinners.
I want to get your thoughts on how Sri Lanka batted and how this has panned out, because I personally felt after being 8 for 2 and the signs that we saw yesterday in the pitch, Sri Lanka would really struggle to get to 150 or 200, past 200, 7 wickets down.
We will have to put the 3 overs yesterday on the pitch, because this conditions, the situation of tough. No one likes to come out to bat at that stage, and he got to Sri Lanka. Mishara and Surya Bandara early played some cracking shots even on the up, finding the middle of the bat, and the runs were flowing. Most parts of the day they were scoring at almost 4 and over. It's just now in this partnership that it slowed down. India have just kept chipping away Sri Lanka. Well, more on that over after the next over. 203 for 7.
ट्राई करना है इधर से पहला ही उल्टा मारेगा, एक रन जाएगा उसको खेलने देते।
Yeah. 56 overs yesterday, 6 wickets fell for 211 runs. 55 already today. I thought it was all soft dismissals, because just looking at every batter out there, talking about the third day in Sri Lanka's innings, no one looked really in trouble. Scoring runs, playing some nice shots, and then suddenly a wicket falls. Very soft dismissals, you say. India, their part, just been chipping away, turning the bowlers around. The fielding's been good. Some wonderful catches which make life easier for the bowlers. I was actually thinking a while earlier, seated on the other side, Sanjay. It's been strange. It's not as though balls been going past the edge and flying here and there.
Just picking on your brains again, is that down to Indian bowling and the way they're bowled, or is it the nature of the pitch? It's played a lot better than we expected.
Nature of the game, I'd say. 500 runs on the board. Just rocked Sri Lanka last evening, and today you're up against it totally. Knowing the fact that India will be at you, 2 good fast bowlers, 3 spinners, they'll be at you all the time. There's nothing in Sri Lanka's favour for that matter. From India's point of view, they've just rolled over, I'd say. They haven't been pushed. There's only one partnership of note. So, even Goal, I always felt that India probably will have another gear. Should have another gear. Launch out again. That out and that.
Or maybe feeling that there could be brushing of the pad, the front pad, before the ball goes on to visibly hit the bat, and he's a very keen reviewer, unlike your captain. Also, let's see what happens with this one.
TV umpire to director, we have a player review for LBW. The visual decision is not. That's not a great start. They've been pushed enough. I think they have another gear if they needed to. They've just done what was required. If I just go through the 5 bowlers used, Sarans Jain, he'd like to be having a bit more of an impact. Jadeja and Krishna for me have been the best.
Let's go back to the review now. That is another issue around Shubman Gill about his keenness to accept the bowlers in a viewpoint on reviews. There's a conflict of interest there. Obviously, the bowler always thinks the batter is out. The captain then has to manage the emotions, like Rohit Sharma had to do with Mohammad Siraj a lot, who used to plead and beg, be on his knees almost to ask the captain to go for a review. On that occasion, I thought, as we said, that visibly the ball has hit the bat. What we thought, I thought, was that maybe before hitting the bat, it may have brushed the pad. But as it turned out, it was straight off the bat. So I'm surprised that Jadeja, who was on the follow-through pretty close and should have had a great view of what happened, didn't.
Massive gap there, and hence very strange that even the closing fielders missed it, the keeper as well. Change of angle, fielders on the offside, pop across to the leg side. Here's Manav Sudar also going to go over the wicket. Square leg also called in at the top edge.
As well. I can hear bad, somebody saying.
Oh, was that an inquiry rather than a statement saying that they hit the bat? 205 for 7. Sri Lanka trail by 298 runs. They need 99 runs to force India to bat again. Your thoughts, Sanjay? Do you think they would enforce the follow-on? 2 days to go, just give the bowlers a rest maybe?
I think they'll keep an eye on the overs bowled. I mean, there were 7 wickets down at around 47 overs bowled, and I thought, why not enforce the follow-on? Because one thing the follow-on does is really destroys the morale of the batting side that's been asked to follow on, because I've been part of that side very often overseas. It's a horrible feeling. You've just got all out, your confidence is down, you have to go after a 10-minute break and do it all over again. But increasingly, something that fielding teams don't do based on the fact that the bowlers have had a long day in the field. But if the opposition is getting out in 50 overs, I think there's every cause and reason to enforce the follow-on. We've seen this also a lot.
He looks like
field.
Yeah, he looks like he's field, not on the beach. The wickets to fall for Sri Lanka. That was yesterday. Brilliant grab by Jaiswal, and then very annoyed by Jayasuriya had to walk off. Oh, no, this was today. Gloved it through Kamil Mishara.
That was not stopped Mr. Russell.
Probably not even there. This, you'd say he had to play at it. Surya Bandara. Oh, well, he plays on. Hits that through. Look, that was a very good delivery, going back to Kamil Mishara's dismissal. But looking at it, it's one that you need to drop your gloves. You know, you are going to get tested. Run partnership between when Pasindu Surya Bandara was dismissed. Top scorer so far, maiden test half century for Surya Bandara, looked very good. Yeah, but looking at those dismissal, Sanjay. Yeah, you do need it. And again, I'll go back to the point where the Indian fielders have time and time again caught the Sri Lankans in chats out there. And straight after, wickets have fallen. So probably it is affecting the focus of the Sri Lankans. We've seen it quite a few times here. Lairudara. Just the one run. He was out yesterday. Mishara looked so good for that 19 before Prasidh Krishna. All that brilliant delivery which rose on. Wickets have fallen, so Bandara 80. Probably Kunaldeep battling on alone. Focus of Sri Lanka. We've seen it quite a few times here. Lairudara, ready to go. Run. He was out yesterday. Mishara looked so good for that 19 before Prasidh Krishna. All that brilliant delivery which was on. Wickets have fallen, so probably Kunaldeep battling on alone outside that off stump. There is a fielder on the reverse sweep, Sanjay, on the boundary line.
Really like to see the off-spinner back in again. You have to back him. You can't have two left-arm spinners against home. Nusha has been so dominant and has hardly looked in trouble. He's a complete measure of the two left-arm spinners in the last test. Maybe set a slightly defensive field, but get the off-spinner against the Nusha. You get him and you have a crack at the 9, 10, 11.
He's in a bit of discomfort, Sonaldi Nusha. Just moved awkwardly straight after playing that last shot. "12 minutes to tea. Back to pace this end. Just to try and get a breakthrough."
Yeah, I would feel that should I say unhappy to go back to Prasidh Krishna on a pitch like this. We have three regular spinners. They have to periodically go to Prasidh Krishna for a wicket breaking of the partnership. Not to make Saraj Jai more of a bowler. He's the captain's backing, I guess, 206 for 7.
they've been used pretty equally in terms of the overs shared. Arnav Sutar, 14 overs to him, he's going to continue. 3 for 46 to Prashid Krishna. Started off wayward, but his natural length is the length that really works on this pitch. So two different lines from the left armers. Arnav Sutar around the wicket trying to go straight. But Jadeja has now gone to the old-fashioned, bring it in from outside off-stump line.
There's always something to learn from the wise man. I do believe that's a better line. I mean, it gives him more opportunities to get wickets. If he reverse sweeps, so be it. Well done, well played. You have a fielder there as well to save the boundary. From there, if he sweeps, they've got a fielder down on the boundary as well. But just that against spin. We saw how Surya Bandara got out, played on, the most common mode of dismissals. It's a run. Couple, there could have been another one. Not to be. And when you're outside the off stump, you get that lucky somewhat dismissal in your favour as well. Played on.
Watch him, Manav. Yeah, I see it.
It's just like the substitute fielder who's in white. Deep Swalik sit down. Seems to be catching him in the eye line. Oh, overthrows. More runs. India getting just a bit clumsy.
When you think as an individual, the odds should open up. Swallow me. Hide from everyone's glare and stare, because this is maybe just a frustrated reaction. No one expecting it. And it's 4 runs. We've had 2 overthrows, costing India 5 runs in this over.
Two runs away from another half century, Sonal Dimusha. 212 for 7.
गरम आलू आप कैसे कर अब गरम आई जाओ मैंने तो हर कार्य गरम आई कैसे मानी वो गरम आ जाते हैं हम ये लेके देखो गरम आई जाओ कुंडी का ये नहीं नहीं
We're talking about the lines and lengths of spinners and the rough that Jadeja's bowling into. Jadeja's end is the better end for the spinners here. I say that when I saw this morning, I haven't seen how the pitch has evolved throughout the day. Where a spinner would like it.
That is what you get with the line outside the offside. We just saw the batter trying to create room and play on the offside, much squarer. And you can see the non-striker telling him to be careful, because when you are in the stance, this is a shot a batter never plays, and somebody will get the ball back in as well. See, that seemed like an innocuous line. Now this is where it opens up, that played on. More of dismissal, trying to cut. Ball getting there under red, so the experienced man, the wily customer that Jadeja is in Test cricket, he knows the line. You've got to bowl, he's firing it in, look at the speeds, 93, 93, 92, 96. He's in a rhythm. And when he's in a rhythm, he takes 4 seconds in between 2 balls. He's just Something about to give here.
Manages to survive. No answer. 112 for 7.
बांधली चली अरे नाही उलटी नाही करायचं चल एकदम बाहर ही नहीं चला
Probably 2 overs to tea, 5 minutes remaining, and we are having the spinners operating.
ऊपर लिखी
The last over that Jadeja bowled, he bowled it in 1 minute, 28 seconds. So I'm just imagining, like the great Martin Luther King had a dream. I have a dream, Jadeja bowling from both ends, Test cricket.
You want to get 30 overs an hour. You term him a fast bowler. He gets through things so quickly. Varying the pace. Imran Sutar now just firing in one now and again.
अरे अरे ऐसे हिल जा फिर करो ऐसे करिए ना
Yep, that'll be 50. Little quicker, but here's in line. Sunal Dinusha, another wonderful knock. Third 50. He's got 100. Very, very early.
It's going for him. He's got soft skills against spin, and this is how he's got his 4 runs there to get to his 50. He's got the big game as well. There's always 1 or 2 sixes when he gets 100. And an excellent time.
That facial expression just hasn't changed. Down in goal when he walked out under pressure, Sri Lanka 4 for 47. He's scoring runs, he's looked untroubled, he's entertained also, but nothing's changed. First test 184 in the second innings here. 216 for 7. Not a very good. Especially when this will be the last over before T. Jadeja can get through this over in 1 minute, not having another. Now Sri Lanka need to be. No harm at all, that will break his rhythm. He likes to go through each delivery and get back to his mark very fast.
Listen back to also because the bowlers keep coming in quickly. Brilliant kind of mood that he is. Looks very settled. You don't mind Jadeja just running. He's always his deliveries. Because you're pretty much in control.
I just think he should take his time. Just make Jadeja win. Just a wee bit.
Not letting that. He's doing that now.
Not letting him come back at him as soon as he gets to top of his mark. Slow. Nicely bowled.
Nicely played too. Smile on his face. He forced him to do something different.
Slightly short and slightly slower. In fact, very slow. 76.5. The 216 to 7 in the score.
Yep, it's stay here on the third deck. Sri Lanka in trouble. 216 for 7, as Sanjay mentioned. Partnership for the 8th wicket, 43 runs, and looking solid. So you wonder, the wickets falling before them, how good the batter's application would have been. So now the Nusha once again, the star for Sri Lanka, trying to hold things together towards the end. 3 wickets fell in that session. 86 runs. Masindu Surya Bandara, star top order. He was dismissed for 80. He batted so well, so impressive.
Now this partnership for the 8th wicket is 40.
So now the Nusha along with Masindu Surya Bandara. Well, they batted really well. It was exciting because 2 young players, new players, expressing themselves until this happened. Jadeja getting Surya Bandara, playing on. Dikwala came and went.
And this follow on. After that view, close calls, inquiries varies to the umpire. Then put the Nusha again. Takes center stage. One has pressed with his off spinners, comes in and invariably contributes with the bat as well. Carries form 100, 80 and now 50. And coming from a 90 in the West Indies, he is in tremendous form at the international level. Young Sonal. The Nusha, Lanka trailing by 287 runs.
They're picking up 3 wickets. Hence, we've decided to end session 5 to India. Well, short break, it's stay here on the third day at the SSC. Cup of tea, back with the posting session.
बादाम सही हो गया सही हो गया
Acting on the performance of Sri Lanka. See, we tried a few times.
मम्मी पकड़ लो के दूध में निकाल दें
Little Shakti. Ready to go run. He was out yesterday. Mishara looked so good for that 19 before Prasid Krishna. Oh, that brilliant delivery which was always happening.
गाड़ी पास कभी गैस को गाड़ी ना बोल रही लड़का बाहर